Alright, are we going? Let's see here. Shooting it on my tablet, so there we go. Give her a shot, let everybody pour in here. Oh. I'm running a little late. How's it going, Scotty? Oh, I gotta remember where it shows me how many people are watching. Maybe it's not gonna do it. I'm doing it on my tablet this time instead of the phone. So, we'll see how it goes. I'm at the new house, so it might echo a little bit because there's nothing in the house. Is everything coming in good? Can you hear me all right? There's the viewers. Hey, farm kid. So, I got me a paper of all the questions that everybody asked me, and I guess I'll, since Scotty's here, I'll answer his. You wanted to know what the story on the 2010 was. So the story on the 2010, as you know, it's the loader tractor there at the house. My uncle bought that sight unseen, and it's the biggest piece of crap that we own, sort of. It's an alright tractor, but it's got its issues. I think we had a 484 International with a loader on it, and it got stolen. And I think we had the 4010 while we had that tractor, and then the money from the International insurance claim we bought the 2010 with, and we put as much in it as we paid for it, and it's still not the greatest tractor in the world. Transmission's going bad in it. All my even gears grind. It's hard to get it into any even gear. It'll go right into any odd gear, which is strange. And it just started having a flat tire in the front. It needs a new tube, so. And I was using the 2010 one year to plow, and it pushed the clutch in, and it squealed and locked up. Shut the engine off instantly. So I don't know what that was. It sat out in the yard for a while, and my uncle decided to fire it up one day, and it fired up because whatever it was locked the engine up. I think it was a throwout bearing or something. It had to be. I have no idea what else it would be. So there's the story on the 2010. Up to 3 viewers now. Towards the, you barely made it. At least you're here, though. Did you get all your tobacco field done? Tension gone in trans. My uncle's thinking about getting rid of it. He wants to get rid of the, or he wants to trade in the 4010 and 2010 on a newer tractor he's thinking about. But I don't want the 4010 to go. I'd buy that off of him. The 2010, it's not very high on my ratings, so I wouldn't be mad if it left. It goes into gear, but you gotta fight it. You put it in and it'll grind, and then sometimes it pops out, but it's only the even gears. I don't have any problem with the odd gears. How's it going, Mancy 1105 driver? It's going good here. It's been nice and cool these past few days. So towards the end of the live stream, I don't know if I said it, I'll go through some of the subscribers that comment the most, since this is like the 100 subscriber live stream and the question and answer. I only got 2, 4, 5 questions, unless anybody else asks more, so I don't know how long it'll be. It's going to take a couple of days to do that film. Yeah, probably. I wish I could have worked as late as you probably did, but the mosquitoes are too bad here. I worked till probably 7:30 putting in fence posts, and I couldn't handle the mosquitoes anymore. They just eat me alive. Did you get much rain this week? I don't think we got any rain this week. Well, it did rain at the house a little bit, but as far as up at work, I don't think we got any rain at all. It's all going just a little bit south of us and to the east. So, and also at the end of the live stream, any of the questions, I'll answer the questions that I have from the subscribers that asked them if they pop up. If not, I'll do them right at the end when I do the shout outs. I know Denny's Country Life, he was going to try to make it. He asked a question. And then C. Smith, he asked a question that's going to be kind of a long-winded one, the answer. So I don't know if he'll pop in or not. He's in the same time zone I am. He might be in bed. Got a lot of stuff to do, I'm sure. How old am I? I'm 21. I'm 21 and I am a first generation farmer. So I watched the Farming Life's video this morning, or about mid-afternoon when it came out, and thought that I might be able to help do a little bit with there. Oh, there's C. Smith. He's not in bed. So I'll do your question then, since you're here. You wanted to know how I got so good at operating equipment and if that little Kubota excavator was ours. Well, the little excavator is ours. My dad and uncle bought that a few years ago when they bought the hunting camp. They had to redo the septic system down there and at the house. So instead of renting one, they decided to buy one. And how did I get so good at operating? Just it come natural to me. My dad, he's an operator. You know that I'm a laborer, so, but it's just come natural to me. I've always been good at it, and I've had people recruit me to do jobs because they know I'm so smooth with the controls and everything. At the school, we built a shed one time, and we had to pick it up 6 feet to get it on the trailer, and the brakes on the forklift didn't work, and it was on a hill, so they had me run the forklift because nobody else at the school could run it good enough to keep it from rolling and knocking the building over. And then just lots of practice. I started, let's see, probably when I was about 10 years old driving tractors. I taught myself. We had a 484 International, and just by watching my dad and Grandpa run it, I learned how to run it. And first time I ever drove it, nobody was even around. I just jumped on it and was playing with it. So you'll turn 40 in August. but I still feel like I'm 25. You run around like you're still 25. Let's see. I'll be back home the 14th, or by the 18th, so. And let's see, this coming week, I'm going down to Southern Ohio for a thing they got going on, and then I'll be heading down to South Carolina to watch my brother graduate from basic training. And while I'm down there, I plan on visiting Scotty Rock. So that'll be around the weekend of, I think it's the 13th or something like that, Scotty. I see 1105 drive up. What, you're 43 then? Days you feel like 50? I think there's days that everybody feels like they're 50. You know, I have some of them days everything hurts. Scotty. So, what else do we got here? I said I was a first generation farmer. I guess if you want to call me a farmer. Just getting started, so everything's hard. Indiana row crop, he asked me what generation I was. My grandpa, he's a hillbilly from Kentucky, southern part of Kentucky, and they did a little bit of farming, but it was just enough to provide for the family, I guess. And then they moved up to Ohio. Pretty much all the family from down there moved to Ohio because there's no jobs down there. And he just raised a couple cattle. That was about it on 2 acres. And Dad, he never did any farming. So I guess you could say I'm the first one in the family to start doing anything. And then I guess I'll answer this question too. Denny's Country Life, he asked if we've always farmed to meat goats or if it's something I started. And it's kind of a, well, I didn't start it, but I kind of took over doing it more commercially, or trying to do it more commercially. My dad and grandpa got goats like 5 years ago. Maybe more than that. Probably about 8 years ago. They wanted to raise show goats, and they had them for a couple of years and then got rid of them. And then I decided to start doing goats. I never wanted to do goats, so I always wanted cattle, show cattle and everything. So, your grandpa lives in Moorhead, Kentucky. I know where that's at. I got family down there. My grandpa and family's from Paintsville, Salyersville area. And Salyersville, I just seen on Facebook, is getting hammered by rain and a bunch of flooding down there. So, but yeah, the goats, I guess you could say I kind of started that. Started it more than it was. Dad, he wanted to go into it way too fast. He likes to do everything big. I wanted the rabbit for the fair. I bought the rabbit. We didn't have any cages, and that night him and my grandpa went out and came back with 18 stacks of 3 rabbit cages. You seen them in the barn. There are 3 cages stacked up, and there was 18 stacks of them. So he likes to go all in on that. And then with the goats, he wanted to do too much too quick, I think, and he never did anything with them. It was always me. So I think he started out with 7 of them, and then my grandpa, he's got goats still. My grandpa does. He got out of them, and then when I started getting into them, he decided, I'll get back into them. But I think he's done doing cattle now. That's pretty much all the questions. McLean Farm, he's one of the new subscribers. I think he subscribed like 3 days ago. Wanted to know where I'm from, and I don't know if he'll pop in or not, but I'll just say it now. I'm from northeastern Ohio. Not too far from Massey 1105 driver. He's on the other side of the state. C. Smith's on the other side of the state. I almost was back over that way. I was planning on going to New York today to get a tractor. I would have stopped by if I went there, but that didn't happen, so. How's the weather been down there, Scotty? That way I need to know what I need to bring to the beach down that way. If it's going to be hot. It's been nice and cool up this way. What tractor? Oh, I was going to go get a International I-4 tractor. Guy was selling in Eden, New York, but he had a guy put a deposit on it, so I still might be able to get it if that guy doesn't take it, because that guy wasn't sure if he was going to take it or not. We had boar goats for about 2 years. That was enough for me. Yeah, I think you mentioned it because I asked you one time what happened to them. I want to get into raising some show goats, but not too much. I know there's some good money in it, and if you want to start farming, you got to go where the money's at. Yeah, it was a wide front Massey. He only ran, he tuned it up and everything, and he wanted $650 for it. And it needed 2 back tires and a rim. It was pretty straight. It was rusty, but all the sheet metal and everything was there. And I told him I'd give him 6 for it. And I was on board with it, and he was on board with it, and somebody dropped a deposit off for it, so. But it's only about 4 hours from where I live. It's just on the other side of that little nub in Pennsylvania. So I've always wanted a wide front, either the W4, W6, or W9, or the I models. The W's are the McCormicks, the I's are the Internationals, and the Internationals, I was told, are like a heavier duty tractor, and they had foot throttles. It's definitely cheaper than an M. Every M I've ever seen is about $1,500 or better. I've seen some for about $1,000, but they've been all rusty and stuck or something. I would like to get one of all the lettered series and then get the matching number series, like the 200s, 300s, and 400s, and H's and M, and I got the C and the Super C, and I want to get all the Supers too. And then I don't think they did like a super version of the numbered series. If they would have, they'd have been the 50s, but I don't think they did 50s. I could be wrong though. I went and looked at a BN the other day for my buddy, but he wanted more than I thought it was worth. So, and I couldn't do anything with it. It didn't have a PTO and it didn't have hydraulics, so it would have been almost useless for me. But I'd like to get all them. I plan on using them to farm with too. trying to farm with anyways. I got that seed drill. I need to get 2 row units fixed on it. Yeah, any of them that I found under $1,000 are pretty much junk. Mine, the H I got, which needs a lot of work. And it needed a lot of work. I think I got about $700 in it. $700 or $800 is what I paid for it. I had an international truck that I bought right down the road from where C.E. Smith lives. And it was an international dump truck. A little 1312, 1310, I think 1310. I traded, and plus $300 or $300 or $200 for that tractor, and you can see what I had to do to it to get it to the way it is. What is that little thing there? The camera's on the wrong side. Cooling down. The tablet's getting hot. So, eyes were industrial. Yeah, I figured they were industrial, but they had 2 different models. They had the McCormick's and then International. What I was told, what I read. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But the eyes had the foot throttle and everything. I'm pretty sure he's not too far from you. He's over Akron way. You said you had 1100 Massey. The school had 1100 Massey. I had it, I never had it. It was at the house for a while, but I didn't have any videos of it. It was a good tractor. The ag teacher is actually going to sell it. And I was going to buy it off him because it's a good running tractor, but something up with it. It blew a head gasket again. I think it's the 3rd head gasket they put on it. He said they melted the engine down one time pretty much. The cylinders were all melted. So they put a new head gasket on it then, and he didn't change the head studs. And one summer they were running it, and the head gasket went out again. They still didn't change them. So he said this time when he does it, he's going to change the head studs. I'd like to get the W9 too, or 6. But like I said, I'd take a 4. I'd take all 3 of them. I actually entered a contest to win. I think it was a W6. It was at a tractor show, but it was supposed to be restored, but it didn't look like it was restored that good, like they just slapped a coat of paint on it. So, Akron's about a half hour. You're over probably more Wooster way, aren't you, Massey? I used to work with a company over there, Beaver Excavating. I'm sure you probably heard of them. Their office is right there in Canton, right off of 30. I worked for them, but I wasn't up that way much. I was more down Cambridge area with them. We're up to 5 viewers now. South of Youngstown. Yeah, the way I look at it, anything over that way is all Akron to me. From Pennsylvania over to Akron's all Akron area. But Pennsylvania, you were only, in the GPS I could see the Pennsylvania border. So you're not too far from it. I'm in Northeast Ohio over by Michigan. Michigan's about 45 minutes from me. And Indiana is probably about 2 hours from me. Right south of the lake there. Lake's probably half an hour from me. I think for me to get down to where we're going in South Carolina, it's a 14-hour drive. You're in North Carolina, right? I believe it was where it was. I know me and you were talking about it one time. Because the company I work for now has got an office down there. And there was in Piedmont. They got one in Piedmont and one somewhere else. I don't remember right offhand. I hate that my chat's on the wrong side for my camera, so I keep putting my finger in front of it. I'm over towards Wooster quite a bit, Massey, during the winter. When I ain't working, I go down to Mount Hope all the time. They got a nice sale down there I go to. I think I asked you if you go down there. You said you don't go down there. But next time I go that way, I have to see if I can meet up with you or something. I like to meet people. Yeah, it was Charlotte. They got one in Charlotte, and then they got one in Piedmont. Charlotte's North Carolina, Piedmont, South Carolina. Some company went out of business, and they bought them up down there. But that, up here, the company's union. Down there, the company's non-union. But a lot of the guys up here go down there to work. So, you get paid pretty decent, I guess. Looking at my cheat sheet here. Yeah, it's every Wednesday that sale is. It draws a lot of people, especially during the summer months. Yeah, Northwest. I don't know why I said Northeast. Yeah, Northeast Ohio. Damn it, Northwest Ohio. I don't know why I keep saying Northeast. Because I'm on the eastern side of Northwest Ohio. I think Norwalk is where they do the split. I know that's where in Norwalk they get all Cleveland weather, and then the west side of Norwalk gets all Toledo weather. Because my grandpa's right in the middle, and he, depending on who his cable provider is, he can get one weather or the other. And he's got DirecTV right now. He gets Cleveland weather, and he said by the time they broadcast the weather, it's already past him. So he needs Toledo weather, and that irritated him. He told them he was going to drop him if they didn't change his weather, and they said they couldn't change it. So I don't know if he's dropped him yet or not. Yeah, it won't be for a while till I get back down there, Massey. It's normally in the winter when I'm laid off. I go down there about every Wednesday. They have a hay sale, livestock sale, produce, and a flea market. On Tuesday they have nothing but a produce sale, but I've never been to that. And then every once in a while they have a machinery sale or a special sale, horses, and dairy sale, stuff like that. I know during Easter they have a Easter lamb sale. But I don't know if they just sell the lambs or not. I know like on their horse sales they only do horses. The weather people don't have a clue what's going on. This is true. Every day I'm at work I look at the forecast because it says it's going to rain and the chances keep dropping, and then it don't end up raining. There's a guy at work, he says it's the weather. It's 100% chance whether you're going to like it or not. Lots of Amish down there. It's all Amish, pretty much. It's not Amish run, but it might as well be. But not too far southeast of me, we got a little clan of Mennonites, and I don't know if there's any Amish or not, but I know there's quite a few Mennonites down in the Shelby area. It's hard to buy anything over there. They buy everything. It's not so bad there at Mount Hope. It's because they have so much of everything. They get about 200 bottle calves during birthing season there, and then they get upwards of 600 head of goats and sheep every week. They get like 600 head of goats and then 600 head of sheep, so then they sell rabbits and chickens and all that good stuff down there. Yeah, I'm sure you're surrounded by them. They're starting to creep up towards me. I know I go to some sales and I'll see them around and everything, but I don't have to worry about it too much right here. The only thing I got to worry about is big farms, super farms. There's one guy lives probably about 45 minutes to the east of me, and he's buying ground over here and everywhere, and he's always running advertisements in the paper and on Craigslist, and I see him on Facebook every once in a while wanting to buy land. And I used to go when I was younger with my grandpa, but I haven't been there recently. That's just right up the road. I've been to Lehman's there a couple times, but I haven't made it to the sale, because the sale, it's either Tuesday or Thursday. And I always go Wednesday to Mount Hope, so I've been wanting to go to it. And then there's one down in Sugar Creek somewhere I've never been to. But Laurel Valley Farms was telling me about that. Or no, not Laurel Valley. It's Larson Valley Farm, but Laurel Creek Livestock, that's what it was. He was down there to one. I go to Bucyrus. They got producers there. I go to that sale just about every Thursday that I'm off work. They don't get anything in hardly. Maybe 15 feeders and 200 fats. 1 or 2 goats and 3 or 4 sheep. It used to be a lot more than that though. I used to get about 60 head of feeders and 500 fats and I don't know, about 100 sheep or so. Yeah, it's about right, about 15 minutes straight down 250. And then to the north. I'd like to move down to that area. I wouldn't mind it. It's beautiful down that way. I used to drive that stretch of road 250 through there all the time when I was working down in Cambridge. Take 250 pretty much from my house, 77 straight down to work, so I was through there all the time. If I get rained out, I'd run up there to Mount Hope on a Wednesday. But there's one in Barnesville I never made it to. I was going to go to, when I was working down there, I don't remember which day it was on. Rogers Farm Sale, what's that? Sounds interesting. I wish they could figure out a way to do these live streams where we could, like a group call thing, you know, where I could see everybody face to face almost. I think that'd be a lot better. It's hard to make conversation when you gotta wait for comments to load. But I guess it'd be different when there's a lot more subscribers. I think we got 3 people right now. So I didn't have much to talk about. I just wanted, I had questions to answer, and then I got the subscribers I'm going to shout out at the end of the video. Yeah, Barnesville's way down south. I used to work down there. It's close over to the top of West Virginia, I think. And there was one, I think it was just across the border in West Virginia, a guy told me about that I was going to check out. Because I worked down in Marietta too. And then right across the river was Parkersburg. But I'll be back down that way again this coming weekend. Have you ever heard of the Jurassic Classic? Down there in, I think it's in Cambridge. It's the address for it. It's Cambridge, but it's closer to Cat is, I think. But I'll be heading down there, a big redneck party out in the woods. The first year I went, we actually met the, well, we didn't meet him. He walked past the little midget Amish guy from Amish Mafia. He was down there. Yeah, there was a lot of work down in that part of the state. We were working, doing oil pads for the fracking, and then had to widen the roads and everything so they could frack, get their fracking machines in there and everything. But I worked down there. The only part I haven't worked was down like Cincinnati area. I haven't worked down there yet. Yeah, pretty much, Scotty. We're all from Ohio. C. Smith, he actually bought the bean head from me. I took it over and delivered it to him. Everybody must be leaving. My girlfriend and buddy were over here working on the house. I was putting in a fence at the farm, so. But he just left, and I heard her closing the door, so she might be leaving too. I didn't see them up close, but I drove past a few of the drilling rigs and everything. They're pretty huge. You could see them. They'd be way back in the hills, and a couple of times they'd be driving down the road down 77, and way off in the distance you could see a lot of glowing orange, and that was them burning off the gas, because they had to burn the wells off until they tied them into the gas lines, and they'd burn for weeks and weeks. And one of the pads that we had to go back and grade the lot, it was actually burning off, and all the trees around, because the pads, they were a couple acres, but them flames would get so hot that the leaves on the trees would actually scorch, and there'd be nothing but a brown dead ring of trees around the pads. It was pretty neat. Yeah, I think the girlfriend's leaving too. Oh, no, that's the neighbor. But it was pretty interesting. Are you getting ready to leave? Oh. I did put in a water line for them, because they got to feed them fracking machines all kinds of water. It was a 24-inch line, and put that in for them. I got to work on a compressor station around it. I didn't work on it when they were building it. Dad actually did, though. He built the pad that they put it on. And then I just got called in to fix where the bank was slipping away. They didn't want to do a permanent fix for the slip, so they just kept putting up silt fence on top of silt fence on top of silt fence. I've got to do a lot of interesting stuff through work. Got to work in landfills, and if you don't appreciate, or how do I want to put this? You don't understand how much waste there is in the world until you've worked at a landfill. I've watched a landfill rise about 30 feet in one day. That's how much trash comes into it, and they were running out of space. They had to buy more airspace. So it gives you a whole new appreciation on stuff. It's the word I want, right? Appreciation?
Perspective.
Perspective, that's what I want. I actually worked in 2 landfills. And it's more than just digging a hole and putting trash in the ground. There's a lot that goes into them. Kiko, that's that auction company, ain't it? Over our way we got Baker and Bonington, they're a big auction company. You deliver to landfill, Scotty? He's the guy we're gonna meet when we go down there. Or try to meet anyways.
They probably think you're talking to like a ghost or something.
No, they can probably hear you. The one landfill I worked in, the first one, they had trash coming in from, it was right outside Cleveland, so they had trash all the time. And actually, Dad, he was working up there when, a while back there was a guy from actually the next town over from came up missing at a Jason Aldean concert, and they actually found his body at that landfill. You deliver diesel to a landfill. I got you. But anyways, they found the body when Dad was working there. They shut the job down, shut the whole landfill down. It was pretty crazy. He said, Scotty says hi, girlfriend of Back Farms.
Hi. Hi. I have a name.
Her name's Casey, just so you know. Casey of Back Farms. I don't think any of you guys know my name. I know C. Smith does. It's not Logie Pie.
It's Logie Pie.
No. If you don't know, my name's Logan. So, I know everybody knows Brad from Larson Valley. A lot of people don't want their name out there, but I don't care. Better than being called Back Farms all the time.
If somebody tries to steal you, I'll just let them take you.
I don't think anybody tried to steal me.
I don't either. If they know it's good for them.
Scotty says hi, Casey, but he spelled it with a C. Are you going to yell at him?
I'll let it slide this one time.
She's going to let it slide, but it's Casey with a K instead of a C.
Or just the 2 letters.
Or just the 2 letters, K and C. She's happy with either one of them. You'll get to meet her if we end up meeting up. Hoping we do. Hoping to hit you about Saturday or Sunday. Or maybe it was Sunday or Monday, I don't remember.
What?
When we were coming back.
From what?
Myrtle Beach.
I took Monday and Tuesday off, so whenever.
Yeah, we gotta be back Tuesday though.
I got to work.
Hi, Brian.
I think somebody here knows who's in there.
They probably are. I did. I got sugar from Casey.
Sugar for my sugar.
So did you ever figure out anything on that 5th wheel yet? I haven't looked at it. I haven't had time. I think that there's a adjustment bolt on the front of it, but I don't know. I got to figure out what model it is. See if it's a Holland or whatever. I'm gonna get a little pin in my foot.
You're wearing boots.
I know. So I noticed, got all new fingers on the reel. I seen you sent me the picture, you got all the blue bats off of it. So did you end up putting new wood on it or not? I still got the machine if you need parts. retrofit yours with 4-wheel drive somehow. I know yours was gear drive, but or just put your engine in mine. I had a guy come up from Lima to look at it, and he didn't end up getting it. But he told me he bought one from out in Oklahoma. He bought a L3 with a Cummins in it. He said they were only made for a few years, and he thinks they were actually made in Mexico, but it's a collector's item. A green stripe L3. I'd like to get me another little combine. Get me like a E or a K Gleaner, or even a 3300 John Deere. I'm not a big fan of the John Deere combines though, the way the engine sits right next to you. I had an International 101 combine that I bought for 150 bucks. Got it running, had my cousin haul it home. I should have got videos of it, but that was before I started doing YouTube quite a bit. I need to buy some of that diesel if it's that cheap.
Did you tell everybody where we are?
Yeah. I kept saying Northeast Ohio, but it's Northwest Ohio.
Where we're at.
Oh yeah, I'm in my new house for anybody that didn't know.
Woo! My favorite fruit.
But I want to get the all crop going. I think maybe this winter that'll be the project I work on. After I get the farm all usable, it needs that coil put on it. I think that's why it's running funny. Once it gets warm, it misses and jumps all the time, so it doesn't run smooth. It could be a bunch of stuff. It needs a lot of love. Yeah, if I get one, it'd have to be the diesel, and I could have bought one a couple years ago. I could have bought a 3300 diesel or a 4400 diesel at the same place. Dirt cheap. One had a head and one didn't. I think the 3300 sold for 1800 bucks. It didn't have the head, and the 4400 sold for 2800 with the bean head. The school, they had a 6600, and that machine was an awesome machine. Cleaned grain real good. The only thing I don't really like about the John Deere, like I said, is the engine's right next to you, so it gets hot, and the controls are right under the steering wheel. You got your reel was on the right or your left side, and then your what the heck did John Deere call it? Variable speed, whatever they had their name for it. Variable speed and header height was on the other side. I just never liked it. And for teaching people how to run a machine, that one wasn't very good for it. I liked the Gleaner the way it was. It was the hydrostatic, so your header up and down was on the stick right there. And then your reel height and everything else is buttons on the side console. But there's just too much going on right there on the John Deere's, and then you had to look out past the engine compartment to see the far side of your header. And in the Gleaner, you were perched outright pretty much on the header. You could look out both sides, no problem. And then the engine's behind the cab, or behind the grain bin, so it was pretty quiet. Yeah, there's a couple different models about that. Like, some had a bolt that went all the way through and stuck out. And then some of the bolt didn't stick out on all the way. I watched a few videos trying to figure it out, but they're showing a lot of newer models. What are you going to do? Do some painting around the window?
Mm-hmm. With their favorite color. Be a Spice Girl.
Yeah.
Like I almost missed the cup. I can't get the metal thing out.
Did you try the hammer?
Mm-hmm. I can't get the hammer in there. I need a smaller hammer.
Did you try the little pry bar?
Little right?
Yeah.
Where?
The little foo bar.
Oh. I'll have to do it.
But anyways, I had that 101 combine, and the field that I took the beans off with the gleaner, you seen the throwback video to the gleaner. I took off one round around that field with the 101 and broke the cutter bar, and it sat there at the house, and I ended up selling it for I think $800, and I only paid $150 for it. Not a fan of the 3300. Why not? The guy that farms at our farm, he had F2. That's all I've ever known him to have. He had two at one time. He had a Massey, what were their combine numbers? A 750 or something like that. He had one of them, but somebody lit his barn on fire, burnt one of the F2s and burnt the Massey, and now he's only got the one F2. His son-in-law had a 1460 International, helped him for a while. He sold that and he ended up buying a K. And then I had the M2 that I helped with out back. You've seen in the one video, the 3 gleaners. I was hoping last year to get video of the 101, but it wouldn't start on the day they were combining beans back there. And I didn't take the camera with me when I went to combine the beans at that one field. Professor Soybean Farmer at his home.
I should make like a ladies branch off of that farm.
Yeah, you should.
For the wives.
Your girlfriend said she should make a ladies branch off of the back farms.
For the wives.
For the wives. What would you do? Cooking with back farms or something like that?
Yeah, I can cook. I can crochet. I can do stuff outside. I can paint.
I had a 540,
I can wrangle goats.
550, 750, 760. It was a, I think it was a 750. It was a 7 something, so. But they had that, and then they had a white tractor that burned up too. A white, I think it was a 155 or 150. They had a 150. I know they had a 155 because we almost bought one from the same guy we bought the M2 from. And he had a 4 180, I think. He loaned it out to a guy, and the guy just never gave it back yet. But he just let him have it, I guess. Scotty wants to know if we're going to get married one day.
I'd like to know that too.
Did you hear that? New wood, new finger guides for the auger.
Does he know how long we've been together?
Probably not.
Freaking forever.
She says one day, Scotty.
No, that's not what I said. Don't lie to him.
What'd you say?
I said.
Oh, you wanted
I'd
to know
like to know too.
Yeah, we've been together for 5 years.
As of last Monday.
As of Monday, last Monday. Yeah, I was gonna put new wood on it this year, but you seen what happened. That, I was gonna, the one side, it's got that floating cutter bar on it, and it would always stick up for some reason. Scotty says I'm in trouble, and Massey says don't make her wait too long.
He's always in trouble.
Yeah, I'm always in trouble.
Forever. I've been waiting since 2012. My goodness.
Yeah, she's been waiting since 2012. She can wait another couple years, right? He said it's about time.
Yeah, you figure I clean your underwear, might as well. We should do a live stream of our wedding if that ever happens.
A live stream of our wedding?
if that ever happens.
I don't know. They might not enjoy that.
Oh, only
There's
the
a
good
tractor
parts.
involved, maybe.
Oh, there's of course.
Of course, yeah.
How would there not
Of
be
course.
a tractor involved? What do you think it's gonna be, a black tie then?
He says, "Don't be scared." Called me Chicken Boy.
Have you met Logan? Chicken Boy.
No, but he might. He might get to
Chicken
meet
Boy.
me. You get to meet her too.
Meet Chicken Boy in person.
Yeah.
I'm the cool one, so.
I've been hanging out at 3 viewers for a while. I can see who they are.
That's okay. Three's better than none.
This is true. I could be having a conversation with myself.
That's normal.
I just wish if there was a way for like 10 people to be face-to-face group chat. That'd be nice.
That's called going to dinner.
I know.
Or having a meeting.
I know, but that's hard to do with people that are in other states.
You're not wrong. Why is that dark right there?
Scotty, it's about time for you to come out with another video, and I haven't seen anything from you for a while.
Oh, don't change the subject, bitch.
Hey, no foul language.
Sorry. Don't change the subject.
Trying to keep it PG.
Oh, man. I keep it going on.
I have conversations by myself all the time, too. You should have seen me out putting up fence posts today. I was cussing and swearing at all the mosquitoes.
Did anybody help you?
Yeah, Dad came out and helped. Neighbors are probably wondering what the heck. I swiped a couple times to kill some and threw my glasses on the ground. Scotty's enjoying us talking.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, it's just something about the way the John Deeres are. There's just too much going on. The engine's right there. I never liked it. I was always hunched over trying to drive it. That and then trying to work on them. Everything was either under the cab or under the grain bin.
Speaking of grain bin, did you unload the goat feed?
No, it's still in the back.
It's not supposed
Just-
to rain tonight, is
It
it?
was a pain in the butt. And then the school got a 6620. I called it Christine because that thing was just horrible. Anything that would go wrong with it would. They got it give to them from a guy who bought it brand new in whatever year they came out in, 86 or something like that. And he farmed 2,800 acres every year with it. So you could probably guess it was pretty wore out. Been rebuilt a couple times and wore back out and had welds on every surface of it. And that thing went through bearings like crazy, wore out belts. They ended up getting rid of it and they haven't gotten another combine since. But he sold the 6600 thinking that the 6620 being a newer model machine would be nicer, and it was just garbage. Somebody bought it, I think, for $1,500 off of him and put it in the Derby.
Mm-hmm.
And he regrets selling the 6600 every day. We'd always get, when we'd take in grain to the elevator, he'd always get compliments on how clean the grain was. It was cleaner than any new machine. And then with that 6620, you could barely get the grain off the field. But it was like equivalent to the M2. They were about the same size. But everything in it was still pretty much mechanical. And the John Deeres were still hydraulic. Everything in them, and the John Deeres were hydraulic, where the M2, everything was electronic. That's what I wanted to say. And the M2 was older, because it had electronic rail height, electronic auger swing, electronic header height. It had the, you could have that little dial on the bottom you could twist to get your floating cutter bar to work right. And then the John Deere cutter bar, for some reason, it was a floating cutter bar supposed to be but the ag teacher always getting dirt in it. Hey, Indiana row crop. I answered your question earlier in the live stream, but since you're here, I'll answer it now. I am a first generation. My grandpa and dad, they didn't do much in farming. My grandpa, he had a couple head of cattle most of the time, but that was about it. He just raised for himself, kind of as a hobby. And then dad, he didn't do anything as far as farming. So everything you see, I kind of helped start as far as anything doing with the farming. Dad, my grandpa got me goats first, and I didn't want anything to do with them. They got out of them, and I decided to get into them, so they wanted them for fair projects, more or less. And then when Dad got goats, he wanted to make hay, and we had the tractors. We got the tractors for our hunting camp. And then we bought the hay equipment because we were going to make hay at our hunting camp and sell it, just to kind of make some money off of it. And the hay equipment never made it down there, and we planted hay at the house. And that's kind of how I'm getting started, borrowing somebody else's equipment, trying to find some land.
We're like a double first generation.
What?
That we're like a double first generation.
What do you mean?
I'm a first and you're a first.
Yeah.
Silly.
The guy that bought the combine, I think that's the fair that he goes to. I know they travel around the state quite a bit, them combine derby guys. I work with one. The guy used to do combine derbies. He don't do them anymore. He said people are cheating too much and everything. They like to put telephone poles in the augers of the header, so that way the headers last longer and stuff. And fill machines up with concrete and everything. He like Massey combines. He said they're the best derby combine you can get. And he filled the throw to one year with concrete. And, he said it was so heavy on the front, the back wheels wouldn't touch the ground, so he couldn't use it. How come you're not using the paint roller? Or are you just trying to do around all the trim and everything?
I don't want to clean the paint roller again.
I don't blame you. I've never been to a combine derby. I'm going to have to go to one, though.
You never been to one?
Mm-mm.
I've been to one. Well,
How have you been to one and I haven't?
Not all combines, though. No, I've been to one. I've totally been to one.
My seed drill I measured it. 10 foot, I think. Because it's just wide enough to go through the door, and I think the door's 10 feet. So it's actually probably like 9 foot working width, but the overall is 10 foot. I need to get it out and cleaned up and fix them two row units on it that are broke off. Hey, you're blocking my light. They can't see my pretty face.
I'm sorry.
But Duke Farms a bit. He pointed out that it had an acre counter on it, and I didn't know what he was talking about. And I got to looking at it the other day, and it does. It's got 3 little dials on it that tell you, and I think it's got like 200 and some acres on it. We keep trying to talk our fair into having one, but they said the insurance is a pain, so they won't do it. Too much of a liability. Our fair, they used to have 2 regular demo derbies. I don't know why you'd want 2 demo derbies. Now they're down to 1. I don't even think they have it anymore, to tell you the truth. The Tug-A-Truck took it over. And they don't do the tractor pulls anymore. They didn't have, they would do the NTPA instead of the OSTPA. And the OSTPA is the better one. Anyways, I'm going to a tractor pull tomorrow. I'm going to get video of it probably at the Seneca County Fair. They always have a good pull. How many head of goats we got now? About 8?
I think we got maybe 10? Maybe
somewhere around 10.
Somewhere like that.
I got rid of 6 a couple weeks ago. I was up to almost 20, I think.
Go.
I'm putting in the fence right now so I can get more. I want to get up their numbers. I got rookie numbers right now. But I'm just getting started. You don't want to go too big too fast. I wanted to get into raising Scotty says I can't be fussing with you since you're working on the house.
He's always fussing with me. It's never an off day.
I'm sure he's just sitting back in his chair laughing right now.
All you do is fuss with me. What do you got color?
I like it.
I can think of balls, leaves.
But I wanted to get into raising, buying the little dairy kids, raising them up to about 50 pounds and selling them. I think there can be some good money made in that. And that's where I made a video a long time ago about new direction for the farm, and it didn't happen. Ended up going out to Vegas, and that I kind of lost interest in it. It is a mixed drink. I'll tell you what it's mixed. It's a little bit of diet root beer and a little bit of diet Mountain Dew.
And ice.
And ice.
Probably water now.
I didn't wash the cup out after having some diet root beer. I'm not a drinker, so you won't have to worry about that.
Thank God.
I act like I drink by the way I act, but I'm just goofy. Something in the lake water, that's what my boss used to say, because he was from down south. He came up here to work and he said, something about you people up here around the lake. But yeah, I wanted to get into raising them little goats. And I might still do it eventually, but right now it's going to be too much of a pain.
I'm sorry.
I'd have to go up to Wisconsin to get them, because you can't get them down here. Got to fight with the Amish.
Wisconsin.
I can get them for about $10 a piece up in Wisconsin, and down here they're about $45 a piece. But I wanted to raise them on cow's milk instead of goat milk replacer, because I got 2 little dairy farms right down the road from the house that I might be able to buy milk from, but the problem would be getting the milk. I had a plan all written up and everything, and it might still happen, but for right now the plan's to continue with the meat herd, improve the genetics in the meat herd, and maybe do a little show line. Yeah, she was blocking my light again.
Sorry.
My little light. She's painting. This is going to be the office in the new house. It's where I'll do all my YouTube stuff and have my computer and stuff. That's the color the office is going to be. It's called Spice Girl.
He picked it himself.
I like orange. So this will be the headquarters for Back Farms.
It could be like a homestead video.
Homesteader video?
What? Yeah, from my side.
Yeah, you could do the homestead videos.
I might be considering it.
I watched Elm Custom, or not, it was the Farm and Life. They're both the same. But there was the Farm and Life video today about the trying to get how to help young people get into farming, and that's kind of the direction I wanted to go with this channel. If you read the description, I actually changed it like 2 or 3 weeks ago about something about following along with me as first generation farmer getting started. So I want to try to focus on doing more behind the scenes type stuff, and all the dirty work and everything that goes into doing stuff. I don't know how many square feet the house is, to tell you the truth.
Too many. Too much paint.
This house has actually been in the family for a long time. My aunt, she owned it, and then there was some issues. Dad bought it off of her, and I'm buying it off Dad. I haven't officially bought it yet, but he's let me come in here and start renovating it and everything. I wanted to get pretty much it all renovated before I moved all the furniture and everything in.
I threw a wrench in that.
If you like orange, why don't you buy Alice Chalmers? I don't know. Hey, I got Alice Chalmers. I got that all crop. And I got a Kubota. I think the Kubota is what sold me on orange. But I like red too. I got a red pickup truck. And I'll probably only ever get another red pickup truck. That's kind of my signature color. Everybody knows it's me when I'm driving around in my red truck. Although my red truck sticks out like a sore thumb because it's just all work truck. Trying to get another truck. I'm looking into it. But I don't know if it's going to happen this year or not. Need something a little bit more dependable than the F-150, something a little bit bigger than the F-150, and something more comfortable than the 7000. I'm going to paint behind me. Steal my spotlight.
I can't get the other one blocked. I need a smaller brush for around the edges. Over by the closet.
Yep, Kubota orange. I think it's a little bit brighter than Alice orange. But I think if you buy the colors from Roll King, they're the same shade. Because I painted that fuel tank in the back of my truck orange at one time, and I bought Kubota and Alice, and I think they were the same. I wouldn't mind getting an Alice Chalmers tractor to pull that all crop with. I just got to figure out which model would suit it. I think it was, that all crop was a 39 or a 42 was the year. It was one of the earlier ones because it had the spoked wheels. But it looked good behind a red tractor too. I wouldn't mind having, like, I gotta remember the numbers, because, yeah, it would be some kind of WD, but I don't know, I don't remember which model number. I could have bought WD at a sale one time for $150 and it run. I thought about doing it too. It might have been the WD. They had a 42 though, didn't they? Like a 40? I don't remember. I watched a couple videos, like old promotional films and stuff like that. And they had a few of them. I don't remember what they were. But they had a one, like a 120 or something. I don't remember.
Just told Skitty we're gonna be on tonight. Let's watch him.
You can watch it later though, because it'll be posted. I'd like to just get me a big tractor collection. Any of you guys hear about the Ron Hackenberger auction they had over in Norwalk? The guy that had over 700 classic cars, trucks, exotic cars, stuff like that. Excuse me. He had over 250 Studebaker trucks and stuff. Some of them were restored, some of them were just old parts vehicles. But I went over to that and they had some tractors. I almost bought a Farmall 300. They bid on it. But they had an Alice over there, I think. I don't remember. Had a couple Silver Kings, a few Farmalls, a couple John Deeres, 2 Molines. And they had a grader, some horse-drawn stuff. I got videos of the tractors selling. I just haven't posted them yet. But if any of you are on Facebook and you like the Killer 1-tons and cab over page, there's a guy that's got the, he bought a car hauler from there. And that was sitting right behind the tractors, an old style car hauler. Yeah, it was a pretty good sale. It was like a once-in-a-lifetime thing, they said. The guy collected stuff for over 40 years. Just had micro car, you name it, it was pretty much there. as far as vehicles and stuff. Well, I guess I can't say that because a lot of it was old stuff. He had Hudsons and Henry J's, AMC's, all kinds of foreign micro cars. What else? Yeah, he had all the Studebakers. He had some foreign milk trucks. Not a lot of newer stuff though, or a lot of, like, he didn't have a lot of Fords or anything like that. No, Machinery Pete wasn't there. It was more of a, if anybody would have been there, it would have been like Jay Leno or the guys from Fast and Loud or Roadkill, because there was more cars and trucks than tractors. They only had maybe 10 tractors or so.
Oh, God.
And they sold dirt cheap. Whoops.
Whoops. That's okay. That's what they make paint thinner for.
They had a BN that was restored. They had a F12. They had a, I think they had a Massey Harris there. They had an Alice G. They had 2 SC cases, 2 tricycle John Deeres, F30, a 706 International diesel that I pulled the dipstick out, and I ain't kidding you, the top to the fill tube was full of water. That 706 was in rough shape. All the tires were flat. Then they had 2 Silver Kings. What else? They had an H with a super kit in it. Had the 300. Had a, I don't think it was a Galleon road grader. It was something else, but it had the Farmall engine in it. Then they had all kinds of trucks. They had a Dodge Bighorn semi there. That thing sold for $24,000, and it didn't even have the right cab on it. All kinds of Studebaker trucks. They had a couple international vehicles there. They had an old IH milk truck, an old IH bus, Scout, and a L110 pickup. I think it was, or L100 pickup, something like that. I thought about buying the Scout, but it sold for like $3,600. Nothing there run. Like the day of, they wouldn't start anything up. So, because most of it, everything was in storage outside, so they just pulled it out and parked it, and that was it. And my memory ain't that great, but I can remember tractors. If you asked me what I did last week, I couldn't tell you. If you asked me what I did yesterday, I probably couldn't tell you. She'll tell you how good my memory is.
Yeah. Real great.
But it was, I can remember it so well just because it was that awesome. They had some old Macs, like 1913 Mac trucks, the old chain drive Macs. They had 2 of them, and they had an auto car. I think it was an auto car truck. There's only like one of them in America, and it was that one. It was an old foreign truck. But it was just a lot of cool stuff. If you're into old vehicles, that was the place to go to buy something. The guy brought in over $2 million. But it was a 2-day sale. It was a Saturday and Sunday. Saturday they sold the stuff. They took it to the drag strip over in Norwalk. That was the stuff that was more movable, wouldn't fall apart and stuff like that. They took it over to the drag strip and sold it, and everything else that they didn't think would make the trip, they sold on the spot, like all the big trucks and stuff. So Saturday they sold all the weird vehicles and stuff that was more restored. I don't know if any of that run or not. There wasn't anything that really interested me that day. I wanted to go on day 2 because of the tractors. I figured they might sell cheap. Yep, that's why I got her. She's my memory. She's the brains.
You got that right. Don't you? you forget it.
So, alright, we're going on an hour and 20 minutes. It's 11:44, so
Really?
yeah,
You gotta hook up the washer and dryer.
we'll see.
You ain't putting that off. You already put it off this late. It's getting done before we go home.
If I can get them screws out.
Mm-hmm. That's what power tools are for.
Alrighty, I think I'm going to try to close this thing up. So, what I'm going to do, since it's at the end, I answered everybody's questions. I'm going to just list off the most active subscribers that I have. I'm up to 110 now. 111, because I got 2 of them today. But I'm going to list them off. So we got, let me start with the oldest ones first. We got Elm Custom Harvesting and C.E. Smith. They're the 2. I got them at the first because they don't show up in order. They don't, them 2 don't pop up for some reason. We'll see you later. I'll probably see you in about a week and a half or so. I'll give you a text when I head down that way. But we got C&J Farms. We got Cow Camp 87. He's not very active, but I put him in there because he was one of the first subscribers that subscribed to me that I subscribed. And we got Farm Kid, DLK Hay, Laurel Creek Livestock, Larson Valley Farm, Mike McLean, Scotty Rock Trains, D. Phillips 705, Do Farms a Bit, Mac Farms, Denny's Country Life, Soybean Farmer, David Dowell, Indiana Row Crop, Farm All Skittle, Jeff Raymond, John Deere 3020 Boy, Versatile 1150, Kenny Kizzle, Massey 1105 Driver, Josh Fanter, Landmark Cattle, and McLean Farm. So those are some of the more active subscribers and the ones that have channels. So anybody else, I appreciate your subscription too. If you would put comments in there, I could write you down, give you a shout out. But I really appreciate the ones that ask questions and comment, so they help out a lot. And hopefully as the channel grows, we get more of that. I want to get into more of helping out, doing informational videos, helping people get into farming and everything, because it's definitely hard to do, and it's no easy task for me. So want to get into doing more with the goats and maybe raising some produce and stuff like that. So, and I'm glad that the Farming Life had that video this morning. Kind of inspired me to do more videos on that, which is the route I wanted to go. I just haven't got around to it yet, because a lot of the channels just show, you know, everything going smooth and none of the breakdowns or anything. So I'd like to show more of that. And actually, when we were baling straw in that video, the one kid, he watches my YouTube channel. I ain't picking on you, but it was at the end of the day, and after we ate and he was tired of baling, he said, if this is what it's like being a farmer, I don't want to have it. But he was just there to help bale straw. He wasn't there to get the semi-trailers rounded up, bring them up from where we bought them, bring them from where they were stored at over to the farm, get the truck ready, get the baler ready. I had an hour and 15 minutes just getting the tractor and baler over to the farm, so, and then another hour for each trailer, and then I had to bring the trailers back home. I got to get the trailers sealed up. So there's a lot of background that a lot of people don't know about that goes on. And I know a lot of people don't like to talk numbers, but I'm not scared to talk numbers. It don't bother me. If you want to learn, you got to talk numbers. So I'll quit rambling. About time to go to bed. I got to get up early. So night, Scotty. So we're going to end this video here. I'd like to thank everybody that tuned in and commented and asked questions, and everybody that subscribed, and everybody that's going to watch it later. So thanks, have a good night, and we'll catch you on the next one.